Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last chance, the last opportunity for you to increase your prices during this time frame where customers have gotten used to price increases. Just to kind of give you an example, a couple of my clients, I want to thank them for sharing some of this information with me. I kept everything as confidential as possible in the process, but I have a client who's a restaurant owner who wanted to buy a gas fryer. Back August 12th, 2021, got a quote for the gas fryer, $24,900, almost $25,000. Did not buy it back then. Went for that same quote, same fryer, everything's the same. On June 2nd, 2022, so 10 months later, $32,593. So an increase of $7,500 on that quote in 10 months. He didn't buy it then. One more quote in September, hoping it'll get a little bit lower. Same fryer, $42,600. So it increased another $10,000 in that 3-month period. That's what we've all been getting used to as consumers, the increase in prices. And that's been happening because of all of the increases in all the materials, the labor, and the raw materials associated with producing those products. We're seeing more and more of that. However, I have another client who's in the home building market. They sell to a home builder, and they recently received this letter from the home builder. And I'm going to read the highlighted areas for you. From 3 years ago until today, our end customer pricing for a new construction home in, and I hid the region, has seen an untenable increase. Make no mistake, any high activity that your business is experiencing now is a rear view perspective. Costs must, and notice the must is all capital letters, costs must not only decelerate, but also depreciate in order to avoid driving this housing market off a cliff. If you are not pushing back extremely hard on your material suppliers with this warning, we ask that you start doing so immediately. Our company is looking for cost reductions and will be actively diversifying our supply chain to any, and notice the any is in all capital, to any material supplier that will provide a reduced cost. While long-term relationships and service levels are very important to us, the end retail customer cannot absorb these cost increases, and a watershed moment of volume reduction will be imminent if action is not taken immediately. That's what's happening now. There's pushback. And be mindful that the housing market is one of the leading indicator industries. So believe me, even if you're not in the housing market, your industry is next. Trust me. These are the canary in the coal mine situations here. And notice how they're looking for reduced cost, and they'll work with anybody, even if they've had a long-term relationship and great service. That's where we're at right now. And that's what you're going to start to see with your customers as well. So be mindful of that there is going to be pushback. And why is this happening in the housing market? Well, in the past year, if you take a look at the 30-year fixed mortgage rate, 2.88% was a year ago. Today, 6.7%. So it has increased almost 4 percentage points in a year. This type of increase is unheard of. We don't see this happening, and yet it's happening. And what's that doing to the housing market? Well, the monthly mortgage payment using the median existing home price with a 20% down payment and average 30-year mortgage rate in the Austin Round Rock area, just to give you an example, 2 years ago, you would have a monthly mortgage payment of about $1,191. Today, it's $3,000. That's an increase It's an incredible, it's almost a $2,000 increase per month. And even a year ago, it was at about $1,800, now $3,000. So these huge increases are happening in every area, in every region of the country. And this can't continue. People will be just knocked out of the market. And that's what the housing market is seeing. And in fact, what's it doing to households? Here's a chart that shows the US median housing payment as a percentage of median income. So this is the percentage of the average American's income going to housing and housing related costs, 44%. And it's gone up from 28.6% about 2 years ago to 44%. That's just astronomical. I mean, this is not going to continue. It can't. People can't afford it anymore. They're going to say no. They're going to stop purchasing. They're going to push back. So you want to be mindful of that. Now, why am I saying this is the last chance? Because there's still probably an opportunity to increase prices, especially if you haven't done it. Now, I want you to be mindful. I mean, right now, if you have, the most important thing right now is to have timely, accurate financial reports. And if you have them, the most important line item right now on the profit and loss is the gross margin. This percentage that you see highlighted here is incredibly important because the cost of goods sold are going up so high, so fast, that if you don't have your finger on the pulse of your gross margin, you might be losing your margin and losing your profit and not even realizing it. Here's an example of a company, a small business owner, who wasn't tracking her gross margin and didn't have timely financial reports. And this is what happened. In 2020, her gross margin was 26.9%. And the gross margin, if you don't know, it's your gross profit divided by your total income. It was 26.9%. So basically what that means is that on average, everything she was selling, all her products, she was getting about a 26, almost a 27% return on that. In 2021, her gross margin was 18%. So she lost about 8 percentage points, 8.5 percentage points in 1 year. And so far in 2022, 9.2%. So lost another 9 percentage points. This is incredible. And why is that? Because the cost of goods sold, the direct cost associated with her product, the direct labor, the employees, and the direct materials that she's purchasing are going up far faster than the price increases that she's putting on her products. And she's quickly running out of profit. As you can see, the bottom line here, her net income, net margin percentage has gone from 20%, bottom line, 20% in 2020 to now 5% in 2022. This is how you can run out of money really fast. So first and foremost, make sure you have timely, accurate financial statements and make sure you have your finger on the pulse of gross margin. That is the most important line item. The economy is waging war against your gross margin. You be prepared for that. Now, here's the call to action. Simply have your finger on the pulse of gross margin. If you don't, please give me a call. Leave a comment. Send me an email, whatever you got to do. Tony@yenllc.com. I will help you figure out your gross margin. It's incredibly important for the company's survival. And if you do know your gross margin, then make sure you go to the next level, which is calculating your gross margin by each service and or product that you sell. Because if you can do that, then you could even adjust your prices even more smartly. And then increase your prices to keep up with your increased costs. At the least, you should always be doing that. so that you keep your gross margin. But if you haven't done this, you better get started now, because really this is the last chance. People are going to be pushing back. You're going to see it happening. So take advantage while you can. I hope this helps. And if you need help, please leave a comment or, again, give me a call. You take care.